Here comes the biggest asshole that the whole world's ever seen.
Welcome to the Clarey Podcast, a division of Aaron Clarey, LLC. Brought to you by assholeconsulting.com. Aaron Clarey, Chairman and CEO. And now, your host, Captain Capitalism himself, the world's only professional asshole, Aaron Clarey.
All right, we're going to do this real quick, and the reason I'm going to do this quick is because, dude, this is so fucking common, and it is not only fucking common now, it is going to be fucking common pretty much for the rest of our lives because, frankly, I don't see any Americans, real Americans left that are going to do anything about it. We're going to let this happen to us, and it's going to happen and happen until we're pretty much either changed fundamentally as a country, or those that would oppose it are dead or outbred. And that is the Floridian attack, the latest terrorist attack that I guess we could expect one of these every 6 months, maybe quarterly if they up their game a little bit. And that's why I was on them. I heard about it late Sunday. Okay, it's Monday now. This thing happened Saturday. People are late Saturday night, early into Sunday morning. And my phone was lighting up. I had my phone off. I'm enjoying my weekend. I was on a big-ass motorcycle ride. I turned on my phone because I was potentially going to meet up with my folks. And all of a sudden, my phone is going off. They say, what do you think about Orlando? What do you think about Orlando? I'm like, what the fuck? Well, Orlando, they call it Horlando. I'm not necessarily against it. Nice town. But I prefer the coastal cities of Florida. They're like, no, the terrorist attack. I'm like, oh, fucking Christ, what now? And I said, no, I'm not even going to look at it. I am not going to let this ruin my day. I am going to fucking enjoy the decline. I'm going to enjoy my motorcycle ride. I've done everything I possibly could. This is outside of my control. And I'm not going to my heart is not going to beat 1/2 of a beat faster. My blood pressure is not going to go up, one on the systolic, one on the hyperbolic, or whatever. I am going to enjoy my day because I have done everything a good American could do to stop it. But apparently there's just not enough of us to outvote or outdo or out-argue those that allow it to happen. So I'm here, and people want to know my opinion. Okay, here it is, guys. The 7 things I took notes. I just had to look this shit up, figure out this guy's name, Omar. Here are the 7 things about the Florida attack, okay? Number 1, my insights. Number 1, okay? Once again, leftists are the majority of the victims. Right, this guy targeted, and you guys know I'm pro-gay marriage. I have gay friends. I like the gay community. I feel very sad. My heart goes out to all of you who happen to be in the gay community, especially the talented Mr. Lee. But for the most part, those in the younger crowds, they were also young. That was another. Young, disproportionately Latino, and gay. That's solidly liberal territory. And I like to point out to the leftists that these Muslim terrorists are going to come after you first. In part, admittedly, not because you're leftists, although this guy did purposely single out gays, but because easy targets, soft targets. Soft targets congregate in areas. Areas usually densely populated. Densely populated areas mean cities, right? You look at all the terrorist attacks on Western properties, the Paris attacks, Belgium attacks, UK attacks, the Twin Towers. The vast majority of people that are dead are leftists, okay? I'm just anytime you leftists want to wake up and smell the diversity bullshit you're pushing, let us know, okay? 2, entirely predictable moves of the Democrat. They go to, oh, God, it's guns, and the guy is a registered Democrat. It's guns, man. So we should not be allowing Democrats to have guns, obviously. I agree with you, Democrats. We should be banning Democrats from having guns, all right? 3. The knee-jerk reaction from every leftist politician to claim this has nothing to do with Islamic terrorism is basically a spectacular failure on the part of politicians to do the number one most important and most basic of services it owes its people, apolitically, I might point out, and that is to protect them. These guys would rather suck the dick of diversity, worship at the altar of diversity, the false god of diversity, than protect their fucking people. They don't have the balls to point out that there's something wrong with Islam as a religion. And I know there's good Muslims. I know you guys are out there. I understand that. All right, but there's a problem. Until Islam goes through a major reformation and you guys start policing your own, sorry, if you don't start policing your own, when push comes to shove, we're going to have to start discriminating without due process. Saying, hey, you know, this guy's got a funny last name, you're out. Nope, don't care if you're a surgeon, you're the greatest guy and your biggest Republican ever. We cannot afford to have you here. All right? But right now, as it is, the rush to not blame Islamic terrorism, that predictable. Again, this is nothing new. This is a repeat. This is was it the replay season or the re-show season? What was it they played? What was it after all the new shows played? And I forget what it is. Number 4. This is guaranteed. In my mind, Trump is going to win. I think the gay community is even going to vote for Trump because Trump is actually saying, hey, you know, I could have stopped this. You know, he could have. And I think now it's pretty clear. You got to be pretty fucking delusional to think there isn't a threat coming in from overseas immigration from these countries. Especially, and this guy is not an immigrant. This guy was domestic, which even brings up more. It's like we got to start looking at second and third generation Americans from Muslim countries that are becoming radicalized. We got to look out for people who aren't necessarily from immigrant families who are starting to join. Well, like what is every once in a while? Who is that? Adam. Oh, he got killed. He was like this fat loser, kind of like this guy. This guy wasn't fat, but he was a loser. But he was an American white guy, and he was just bored, and he was going to go on a crusade. Adam Kadhan, that's what it is, Adam Kadhan. So we got to start that. Regardless, we're going to have to. This is a Trump win. People, this is so blatant, so obvious, whether domestic or foreign. 50 people are dead, 53 injured. Death toll might go up, and he attacked an extremely left-wing target. I think that just cinches it. But then again, I don't know. Maybe the power of diversity and the power of leftism and the religious ideology just worshiping at the altar of the left. Maybe you guys don't care. Maybe if you get killed or not. Certainly some of those women who work at the refugee camps getting raped, they don't care. That literal, not gay, but that wimpy faggot of a statesman, that politician over in Norway, I believe it was. He got sexually assaulted and was worried that if the guy got convicted, he'd have to go back to Somalia. Oh my God, you guys are pathetic. I mean, that's psychotic. It's psychotic. But I think the majority of people who have their heads on straight and simply don't want to die are going to vote for Trump. What else? These attacks are going to continue, ladies and gentlemen, until we thoroughly vet the Islamic community. All right, I am for the ideals of America, and we should open the doors should be opened for those who believe in excellence, those who believe in freedom, of which there are some in the Islamic community. I'm predicting not a lot. That's why I say thoroughly vet. And my standards of vetting would be much more stringent than what Barack Obama. You got a pulse? Okay, come on in. All right. But until we thoroughly vet everyone who is a Muslim, whether you're from a Muslim country or not, you could be a convert, right? Thoroughly vetted, thoroughly background checked. And if there's the slightest suspicion of Sharia law tendencies or terrorist tendencies, you're immediately kicked out, right? If there's not slightest suspicion, but proof that you're active or you're starting to be on these hate chat groups, right, you're killed. You're fucking killed. We're going to stop immigration. Until we stop immigration, we have a little bit of time to digest the current population of immigrants that we have today. Not saying kicking them out. Let's keep the good ones. Right? But until we do that, these attacks will continue. And I'm sorry, because it's only, there was the guy down in California, this guy. How many attacks? Like, say, 5. The Twin Towers, that was 9 guys, was it? Was it 9? So there's like 10 people out of the couple million that are here of Muslims. It's a microscopic percentage, but it's a pretty key microscopic percentage. And So sorry for the remainder of you, especially those who are like condemning this and in your hearts, not just coming out and saying like you have to, like CARE has. Like CARE came out, oh, we strongly condemn. Yeah, while you're laughing and cheering and toasting each other with alcoholic drinks, even though you're not supposed to have it. All right, so until we start getting serious about who we let into this country, this will continue. And you could expect to see it, like I said, biannually, maybe quarterly, don't know. But you could come to expect it. Even if we do this, none of that's going to happen until Western women start voting for freedom, for capitalism, for Western civilization, instead of this socialism, diversity, coexist, warm, fuzzy bunnies, bullshit poppycock you mindless sheeple have been programmed to vote for ever since high school, ever since grade school. When you women are done marrying the state, and the state, by default, whether you're conscious of it or not, because it's not the Republicans that are voting this pro-diversity stuff, let everybody in. Right? And whether you're aware that you vote for the Democrat, and this includes their platform of letting other cultures in that are just simply not compatible with American culture, not compatible with Western culture, until you girls start voting with a little bit of stewardship and responsibility, this will continue to happen as well. So even if we go through the vetting process, even if we say, okay, now we got the really good Muslims in here. Now there's Rahib, he's a good surgeon. Okay, there's Ahmed, he's a programmer. We like Ahmed. Even if we go through that, if you women keep letting the border be open because you just have the feels and you care about people so much with my fucking money, not to mention innocent lives, gay, straight, left, right, or not, they're kind of indiscriminate in their killing. Nothing's going to change on top of that. And so, since none of this is going to happen, we're not going to have the balls to actually defend our own borders, to protect our own sovereignty, to demand sovereignty, and half our voting population, 70% of them vote left anyway. This is all academic, theoretical, and bullshit, which is why I just don't care about it anymore. Frankly, as long as it isn't me. And even if it is me, it's like, well, I guess my time was up. I did everything I could. And so the only conclusion here, guys, with this, the only thing that should be said about this terrorist attack, the only news coverage that should be, I even saw the local news coverage, the gay community in Minneapolis, rightly so, I guess, they had like a kind of a mourning, but then they showed this gal planting roses in public areas, like, oh yeah, that's gonna stop them, lady. Yeah, it has nothing to do with you voting left your entire life. No, but you putting those flowers in the baskets in the flower box, that's gonna stop them. And regardless, none of what's going to be required is going to take place. None of it. Okay? So while we're here, go on your motorcycle rides. Don't even tune in. We don't need any more news coverage. That's nice and cute. The gal's putting the flowers in. It's not going to stop these people. Okay? It's just going to make them laugh like the candlelit vigils. They're going to realize we're soft. But for those of us who know how to stop it, but we're the mythical Cassandras and no one's listening to us and we're yelling from the mountaintop, there's only one thing you should do. Stop yelling from the mountaintops. Stop trying to save civilization and just go and enjoy the decline. Okay? You could go buy my book, enjoy that. This is the perfect, my book should be the number one on the list of the New York Times bestseller list. Go get my book, Enjoy the Decline, read it. And if you don't want to read my book, I guess, I think you got the idea, you got the concept. Go out and live your life. You did what you could, you said what you could, you pointed out what was going to happen, and now people are dead. And not to sound like an asshole, because once again, I do appreciate the gay community. Thank God it's a bunch of leftists, because they're the ones that did it to themselves. At least the people getting punished out there are the ones that deserved it and brought it on them. They're the ones that shot themselves in the foot. I don't like to see pretty much anyone dead, but you know what? Makes me care a lot less. Makes me care a lot less when fucking socialist vermin die. Right? So there, that's it. That's old Captain's take on it. And that'll be my take on every other terrorist attack that occurs in the United States. Or the West. Because you brought it on yourselves. You brought it on yourselves. You won't untie the people who can go and are willing to stop it. You will not untie their hands. And if they try and go and stop it, you call them racist and homophobe. They're not homophobes. They're Islamophobes. You're just a bigot. And it's not even the name calling as much as it is like, well, we're never going to allow you to work another job in your life. We're going to ruin your future and your career. Thankfully, this is my career, and I get to speak the minds of the silent majority, and that's why Trump's going to win this one. So if we could all get together now and not worry about be calling an Islamophobic, because that's the group that's blowing up people and shooting them. Maybe if we get the balls to do that vetting thing, try and be fair, trying to adhere to the American principles of allowing the good people in, and having the balls to stand up to the parasites and the terrorists and the psychopaths, maybe then we might unite. Maybe we'd have a country to fight for. But in the meantime, you people on the left don't give two flying fucks. And because of that, I don't give two flying fucks about you. Okay, what do we got? Shit, that's right. I gotta go to South Dakota this week. So, how hard is that? It's not hard. It's not hard at all. It's unfortunately it's for business. I actually have to go to South Dakota for business. I want to go and look at property. Many years ago, before the housing bubble crisis and all that, I went out to South Dakota a decade ago. It's been over a decade. I said, man, this is the place I want to live. Oh my gosh. So I spent about a good week out there, just scoping out all the properties, all this other stuff. And then sure enough, the financial crisis hit. My dance class revenues tanked. And my ability to go and buy a piece of property out in South Dakota, that flooded away with it. Now I'm starting to think, well, wait a minute. Things go pretty well, but you do want to have debt. You don't want to have any assets. You don't want to be suable. You want it so if a lawsuit comes up against you and they say, hey, you got some assets. You say, no, actually I don't. Blood from a tournament. Suck my dick. That's why I'm a minimalist, and that's why if I have any little bit of money left over, I piss away on booze, or I'll buy dinner for friends or something like that. I keep a very low net worth. Very minimal living expenses. Very key. But I'm sitting there thinking like, okay, well, wait a minute. If I get a mortgage out on a small piece, nothing big, nothing fancy, but it's basically a survivalist thing. I want a piece of land out where there's very few people, yet there's water supply nearby. And if the shit hits the fan, I load up the truck with gas and we hightail it out to my property in South Dakota. And so, whereas normally I'm going to take the motorcycle, don't get me wrong. I really shouldn't be complaining. I get to drive out to South Dakota on my motorcycle. The GF is going to go see Mumsy and Dadsy. And do you want to come? No, I don't want to go to Wisconsin. Definitely do not want to go to Wisconsin again. I want to go the other direction. Because for those of you in the Midwest Plain states, if you go east, there is nothing east. If you go west, that's where the cool shit is. I say, I'm going to go west. And I say, okay, while I'm out there, though, I'm going to go and start scoping out property. So it's not going to be as fun as it normally is. I'm going to get some hiking in, obviously, no doubt. But I got to go find a little piece of land. Nothing big, nothing fancy. Ideally, pay cash for it. And I know that's going to be impossible if I want to have like water access, but somewhere out there's got to be a stream, a fresh water source somewhere out there, not too far away from Rapid City. So if I ever did want to build on this piece of property, it wouldn't be an hour and a half drive to Rapid City or any other Walmart. Basically, I'm looking for a Walmart. I want to make sure there's a Walmart nearby. I want to make sure that I'm not too far away from the highway and therefore cell phone reception. Try to make this property do multiple things. Like, yeah, primarily it's dedicated as the survivalist piece of property. But if all of a sudden things go well and it's kind of like, oh shit, look, I got extra money around. Oh, maybe we could build a little hut on it or something. Run it out to the Harley motorcycle riders. If you look at a map, Atham, stop what you're doing. If you look at a map, I think there's a sweet spot in between the town called Newell, South Dakota, and Sturgis. A lot of nothing. That whole Belle Fourche, Sturgis, and to the northeast of that, going up to Newell. Not a lot there, but that area gets flooded with motorcycle riders during the Sturgis rally. Because they all come in from the top end, and they get, okay, well, how many times are we going to do Van Acker Canyon? How many times are we going to do the Deadwood rally? Okay, well, let's go out, let's go north, let's go east, let's see what's up out there. Some of them make it as far as Faith, South Dakota. And I was thinking, okay, maybe there's a property out there. There's a river. I think it's the Belle Fourche River that goes through. Or is it Cheyenne? I know there's a ton of farms built along it, so it's not like I'm going to, hey, do you mind giving me an acre? They say, yeah, actually, I mind terribly. Okay, never mind. I'll go back over here. But that might be a place where I could actually make some money off of the property. Yeah. Seriously, there's so many people that go to that Sturgis rally. There's campgrounds along the interstate in between Rapid City and Sturgis. There's no water, there's no nothing. I think some of them might have an outhouse, or like kind of you got to drive down to the wayside over, was it Piedmont? But you can rent out just a plot of land that people can pitch their tent. I don't know, a couple $1,000 for the 2 weeks, maybe $1,000 for the 2 weeks, and they got it. Then they live the Sturgis dream. They go to the Buffalo Chip. They go down the one main drag of Sturgis, then they come back up the other one. And then here's your little plot of land. Look out for rattlesnakes, and they don't have scorpions out there. They have rattlesnakes, and they do have those brown recluse spiders. So those ones you got to look out. Oh, those things are nasty. Very nasty. A buddy of mine got bit out in South Dakota and had an abscess. She says silver dollar size, Eisenhower dollar size. Absinthe, and it just ate away all of her skin. Thankfully, it healed up pretty good, but oh man, just the Black Widow, you survive that, but you don't have any marring or scarring. The brown recluse, boy, you get a mark for life. But anyway, so I got to drive out there, and then I got to just drive around, look at properties, and for the love of fucking God, this gets back to hustle, guys. Glendon Cameron, this one's for you. This gets back to hustle. Not a lecture, Glendon, but Glendon's shaking his head, or nodding his head. Yes, preach on, brother. I did a little bit of searching, went on the Zillow. I type in my variables. I start looking. I say, okay, contact this realtor for the thing. And since I'm buying, I don't pay the commission. It's the seller that pays the commission. So I'm thinking, okay, I know the area, but I don't know what's for sale. It's probably worth my time to contact a realtor. Get in contact with a realtor. They're like, oh, yeah, I know exactly what you're looking for. This is the type of property we have over there, da-da-da-da. So it says, right, there's a property I'm looking at. And I'm like, okay, here's the listing agent. I contact that person. I get an auto response right away back. And then I got a phone call. And I ended up getting a phone call. And I returned the phone call. I say, yeah, thank you very much. I'm interested in this property, but other properties as well. Don't know if you have a list. Here are the variables I'm looking for. Please call me whenever you want, da-da-da-da-da-da. And, what is it, 4 or 5 days? Now, I know the weekend went by. Nothing. I sent another email to another guy, another realtor. Hey, yes, I'm interested in this property. Send me an email back. Nothing. Got nothing back. It's like, do you people want to make... Again, this is why conservatives don't deserve America. I wrote the post. These are realtors. These are hustlers and shakers. These are not your welfare public, or your presumed hustlers and shakers. Your presumed capitalists. Your presumed lovers of money and profit. And they just fucking get back to you. I don't know how much slower do I have to throw this one over the plate? Do we have to make a T-ball for all you guys out there that claim to be capitalists? Do we have to put the ball on the tee so that it's perfect right there? Maybe we get you a really big bat. Remember Bugs Bunny when he went up against the Gas House Gorillas? And they just chopped down a tree and used that as a baseball bat? Do we need a bat that big and to have the ball in a T-ball for maybe... I'm not even asking you to hit it out of the park. I'm asking you to take a swing. I'm not even asking you to get a run. Just hit it. Make contact. I don't care if you follow out. Just call back. No. Can't do that. No. Cash buyer, assuming properties are within reasonable prices. Cash buyer, nope, can't contact him. He's reaching out to us. He's saying, this property right here, I'm interested in this property right here. We need those people in those Middle Eastern bazaars, like where they're hustling and shaking and you haggle and price. They're shoving the product in their face. Those guys have got to be switched out. We need those guys to start selling property, become realtors. Because it's just, I can't... The horse in the water, the pistol to the head, the kick in the shin, whatever analogy I'm pulling out of my ass now, how hard is it for you people to get back to me when there's commission on the table? Maybe that's what it is. I'm not looking at one of these $5 million up in the Spearfish Canyon on top of a mountain with a waterfall type view. Maybe that's what it is. I'm not big enough a fish. Well, he just wants boring old property. He doesn't want a house or a cabin. He just wants land. Well, fuck that. So I'm thinking maybe I just got to go and study on the Zillow. which is just what I want to do more. I want to go and sit in front of a computer more. God damn it, I'm in a foul mood. Had to do my asshole consulting, had a ton of requests, got that all knocked out, got that all banged out. You got to do marketing. It's like a real fucking job again. When all I want to do is buy some property. Go out there, look at property. But no, I got to do all this computer work. I hit the gym. Yeah, I got to do marketing today. Did the asshole? Oh, by the way, just in case you were wondering, I think I got to be better about this. Given what's happened with the YouTubes deciding some speech is freer than others, I will be using Daily Motion as a backup channel. I already have a channel. I don't have anything on it. But for those of you who are worried about asshole consulting or my YouTube channel going away, YouTube could cut it off at any moment in time. So I'm going to have that backed up. But I'm just spreading the word out there now that if for whatever reason I get the 1 strike or the 2 strikes or it's offline or whatever, I will be going to Daily Motion. So that's where it will go. So just look for me at Daily Motion. I know I get a fair amount of repeat business or new business through my YouTube videos. People search something like, oh, look at this guy. Holy shit, let's give him money. But just for all of you out there right now, if you're listening, you say, oh, God, where'd it go? YouTube decided my speech was not as free as others, and it's over at Daily Motion. Or maybe Vimeo. I'll let you know. I'll put it up on the blog and my Twitter and all that other stuff. Unless YouTube, Google, Twitter, and all the social media big heads decide to say, no, we're not going to allow that anymore. Then I'd have to make an announcement on Asshole Consulting or something like that. But actually, I'd just go to some of my friends' YouTube channels and say, hey, can you make this announcement? And then rumor would spread, and we'd be back online, up and running. Oh, shit. Why am I looking at my to-do list? Anyway, yeah, so I'm in a foul mood. I got to drive out to South Dakota to look at property. It's not that. I'm not complaining about that. I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to go to Pierre, South Dakota. Never been there before. Kind of take a different route. I'm going to basically avoid the Twin Cities. I'm going to cut west and basically drop south and then hook up to, was it 7 or 12 or 212? No, it's 212. 212 runs all the way out to Wyoming. I remember that. And then go to Pierre, South Dakota, because I've never been there. So I am looking forward to that, but I'd like it to be a productive trip. It's actually a tax-deductible trip for me to this time because of investment property and all that. But it's going to be a wasted trip if I don't get these fucking realtors to call me back. Or just have to knock on people's doors. Hi. That's the thing with land. They don't live on the land. If it's just land that by default there's no house, how do I know who to contact for? Oh, I know they got a little sign and everything. I just wanted the efficiency of not having to go through Zillow. I just wanted, hey, realtor, this is what I'm looking for. Plug it in. Let me know. Can you show me the properties? Can I just go out there by myself? And it's going to slow down my fucking day, my fucking trip. Just focus on there is good news. I'll tell you this good news. I did rehook up my Xbox 360. The girlfriend in all of her wisdom, because she knew I was fidgeting. You're fidgeting. You keep going to the computer thinking there's something on there because and then every once in a while I might get a tweet or something like that. And I'm coming up on 2 weeks without Facebook. So I did no Facebook for 2 weeks. And it's kind of scary how conditioned you are to look at this, especially if you make your living off of it. Look at your cell phone literally every 5 minutes. It's 1 a.m. I'm on the internet. What's going on? Is there anything else I got to do? And then there's absolutely no fun. I haven't played video games since I bought my PlayStation 4 because you can't play video games on a PlayStation 4. They don't allow it. You can download games, you can install games, you can install updates, and you can get downloadable content. And then you can reinstall and re-download because you lost internet connection. But you can't play games on a PlayStation 4. That's the whole idea of a PlayStation 4, is that it gives you the illusion that you could play games. So basically, I haven't played games since I installed the PlayStation 4 because I uninstalled the Xbox 360. I'm like, okay, new system, new games, here we go. I like to try all that. And then I found out what few games I could get to play all suck. The girl's like, well, why don't you go and reinstall your Xbox 360? And I'm like, yeah, I should. But I'm so conditioned to be back on the internet. It's like, it takes too long to hook up the Xbox. And And then I'm like, fuck it, I am done. I had to like stop and pull myself, like my auto brain, my brain stem was controlling everything, not the frontal lobes, not the frontal cortex. I say, there's nothing else on the internet. I've done all my work. I checked off everything on my to-do list. I'm going to go have fun now. So I installed the Xbox 360 again, hooked it up to the TV. Thankfully saved the HDMI cable from the PlayStation 4. That's the one thing I didn't throw out. And so I got nice graphics and everything. Is playing on the screen, the big screen TV we got. And I started playing Battlefield Bad Company 1 and 2. Played Grand Theft Auto 5. I'm like, holy, the Bioshock series. And there was some good games, not for the Xbox 360, because Microsoft ain't getting my money either. Not after going through 3 Xbox 360s because of Red Ring of Death and all this bad crap. I'm going either Nintendo or PC. But for that generation, both PlayStation, PC, and 360, there were some good games. The whole Bioshock series, Battlefield Bad Company, some good first-person shoot-'em-up. And Sony, at any time you can listen to this, unlike today's modern consoles, the most recent generation of consoles, there was an eject button. It was amazing. I know this is crazy for you fucktards in Japan. I imagine. I know we have our IT nerds in Silicon Valley who like to make things overly complicated, adding shit no one ever asked for. But if someone could translate this to the Japanese nerds, the fucktards over in Tokyo, wherever the fuck you Sony people house your Japanese nerds, to say, let's get rid of any analog function whatsoever, like an on button or an eject button. So what ended up happening, I know this is crazy. You guys, it's going to be funny. Get this. Okay, sit down, Kami-san, or whatever the fuck your name is. You hit the eject button, and the tray opens up, and then you take the game in disc form, you put it in the tray, you close the tray, and guess what? You can play the fucking game. There was no download, there was no update, there was no we cannot connect to the internet, there was no would you want to do, oh, how about this? And like when the screen turned on, it was the game I put in. I didn't have to sift through 40 different fucking options of like, do I want to update the sound system? Do I want to change the internet connection? Oh, do I want to go to the store and buy shit for so? No, I know this is crazy, sucky suck dick son. I know this is crazy, but the game that I wanted to play immediately showed up. I didn't have to wait for the thing to warm up or boot up. I didn't have to sift through a bunch of command screens to get to my game. It almost like it was designed to play games. It's just crazy, I know, fucky fuck son. You're too busy sucky suck dicky dick cocky cock son over there in Tokyo to have that concept. Maybe you've been sucky suck cocky cock son of the Silicon Valley nerds, like, oh, great Silicon Valley nerd. How we make shitty product so infuriate American consumer. Ho, 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 ho. Oh, great Silicon Valley nerd. Tell us unnecessary confirmation button pressing and thing we no one ever want on video game console system. And we put in PlayStation 4. Ho, 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 ho. Wouldn't that just be great? Get those two groups of fucking nerds who make our lives all miserable. The IT nerds in Silicon Valley that make you reconfirm 40 different things, totally not logical layout, totally not thinking of the average user. We get them in the desert of Nevada, and then we airlift with parachutes. We don't even tell them. We go and we kidnap them at night. We use the U.S. military to go to Japan, and we find their counterpart, Japanese fucking nerds. And we all hit them over the head with a rubber mallet. We drag them on. We put a parachute over them. And we just circle over the desert where the little nerds are down below. And then we wait for them to all wake up. Oh, what go on here now? We push them out there. Ah! And the parachute. And they land. And then I don't want to shoot them. I want something a little bit more personal. We all just grab clubs. And we just descend on them as a circle. And we just beat the ever-living motherfucking shit out of them. We gave you PlayStation 4! What wrong? Quack! I want my PS1 back. We could almost do a thing like a spoof from The Princess Bride. I'll give you anything. A video game system that works? Yes. Simple to use controls? Yes. an eject button. Yes, anything you want. I want my Atari 2600 back. So yeah, maybe we should do some sponsors. So anyway, I've been playing Xbox 360, and dude, it's so much better. It is so much better. The graphics aren't. I don't even notice the difference in graphics. It really is not that much of a big of a jump from PlayStation 4, from PS3 to PlayStation 4. I'm like, these graphics are no different. I mean, what was it? My buddy was saying for the next generation of television, like, I guess he's saying 4K really isn't 4K, but now they're going to do true 4K, and now PlayStation's coming out with the PlayStation 4.5, but they're going to market it as the PlayStation 5, but it can't tell it a PlayStation 5, so it's going to be the new and improved PlayStation 4 that will actually have the rendering ability and the graphics ability to, I don't know, meet this new 4K system for the graphics. No one's going to buy it. After PlayStation, no one's buying it. Nobody's going to buy it. It's my prediction. It is so bad, only like the super uber nerds who, I don't know, get off on complexities and unnecessary difficulty. They might go buy it because they have to, because they're professional nerds. But for those of us who are like, look, if you remember playing games and enjoying it up until about 4 years ago or maybe 3 years ago, it's because of the next generation of consoles. Go back, plug in your old system. Chris Beckloff will back me up on this. Play the old games, maybe get them on PC, because there ain't no reason to use this current generation or any future generation, really. Unless they have a huge repentance. Unless they say, you know what, you're right, we should listen to the people that are going to use it, not this, like, group of IT nerds that we selectively selected out of Silicon Valley who went to Gen Cons. You know, you're right, there should be an eject button, we should turn it on, and we shouldn't make you have to go through the Defense Network command over at NORAD to access the game you want to play. You're right. Until they say that, which I don't think they're going to do, because there's too much damn money and force you on downloads and season passes and all this other DLC. No, they just got too much. Who was it? I think I was listening to the Beckloff. Who you can find it. Was it John Steele that was telling me? I think maybe it was Undertow. They bought a game, a $60 game. Okay, and this was like where I'm like, oh, fuck you. Just fuck you. Fuck the video game industry. They bought a $60 game. Now, if you buy a $60 game, you should get everything with that. Now, I understand expansion packs or additional downloads, but you should get those for free, okay, because you spent $60 on the game. Well, we started playing through it, and it was either, like, in order to finish this mission, you needed a particular weapon. I don't know if it was a gun or a sword, because the sword or the gun you had just wasn't strong enough to do it. Wouldn't beat the enemies. Well, surprise, surprise. It's like, if you need a more powerful weapon, like a notification comes in, if you need a more powerful weapon, come to the Sony store or the Electronic Arts store, and you can download for a price. Like, you'd actually have to pay real money, like $1.50 or $1.99 to download and get this gun for your character. And that's why I'm like, nope, never again. Never again. I'm never getting a PlayStation anything. I'm not going to get an Xbox anything. And I'm never buying another $60 game if I ever find out that there's a... No, you've betrayed the trust. You've betrayed the trust. Since the 70s, even. I think Atari came out in the late 70s. It was understood, you put the cartridge in, you play the game. You bought the game. You bought the system to play the game. You bought the game. You got the game. Now, because of the internet and downloadable content and all this other cutesy, artsy, fartsy bullshit, they're just trying to milk and rape you guys. It's no longer for fun. It is really just about money. And that's the thing. Can't you make a fun game? Just one generation ago, you guys made a ton of fun games. And there was no other additional bullshit. That's the one thing that... And not that I was ever going to, like, buy games again, and all of a sudden I found out, I got to pay $1.95 for a sword. Not that threw me over the edge. What really threw me over the edge was when I bought the season pass for Witcher 3, because that was pretty much the one game of PlayStation 4 that's all right. I'm like, yeah, I could download additional content and all that, and then you say, okay, you get the season pass. I'm like, okay, whatever they're calling it that. So I paid something like $40 or $50 to get this additional, game, basically The Witcher 3 2. It says, right, when the video game is ready, it will download. I'm like, what are you talking about when the video game is ready? Well, it hadn't been released. They are already selling claims on a video game that hadn't been released. And then when it finally got released and I tried to download it, nope, wouldn't download. I'm like, okay, done. Done. Seriously, do not get your kids a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox One. Just don't get it for them. Get a Nintendo. Get the Wii U or whatever. Talk to Chris Beckloff. Talk to the true guy who enjoys video games that are fun. Get a PlayStation or a PC. Get some good PC games. But never, ever, ever get a PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Never, because they're not games anymore. And these games that come out, they're not for kids. I mean, kids can play them. Kids might enjoy them. Who doesn't like a first-person shoot 'em up? But good luck getting it to work. I don't even care how advanced the kids are with their technology. You shouldn't have to spend at least 2 hours on average getting a game to work on the most advanced video game system ever. It should sense what I want to play. It should serve me a martini while the game is playing. But no, it's a troublesome PC. You have to troubleshoot this PC without the aid of a keyboard, and that's your PlayStation 4. All right, enough bitching about the PlayStation 4. Let's do some sponsors. I have my GoFundMe campaign. I should put it on the website, but search the Ghostbusters GoFundMe campaign. If you pay me $1 million, I'll go see the new Ghostbusters movie when it releases. Is that coming out soon? When is that coming out? Was it July? Ghostbusters 2016. When's the release date? July 15th. All right, so we have basically a month to raise $1 million. What is my... I wonder how much money is in my account. Captain Capitalism, Ghostbusters, GoFundMe. Maybe I should find that. Come on, Clarey, where'd it go? All right, never mind. I'll have to go and find it somewhere else. I'll provide a link or something. I'll get it up on the YouTube, on the Facebook or whatever. So yeah, you could go ahead and donate money there. I already think I have like $200 in the account. If you'd like to advertise on the podcast, please feel free. We get about 3,000 listeners weekly. That's kind of based on, iTunes, Stitcher, RSS, all that. Maybe it's more, maybe it's a little bit less, but I doubt it's less. Actually, it's a pretty low-ball estimate. Then we have Chad Elkins at elkinscpa.com if you're looking for some kind of tax or accountant work, or just some kind of financial advice if you're thinking about starting a business. Contact me first. I'll tell you if your idea is stupid or not. And then contact Chad second if I say it's a pretty good idea, but run some financial projections past somebody. Chad is the guy you want to run those financial projections past. So go to elkinscpa.com for help there. We have the podcast archive. If you're like, where'd the other first 1 through 100 shows go? You can. Those were on Podomatic, and I destroyed Podomatic. But I did save the original episodes. So if you want to catch up on the original episodes of the Clarey podcast, you can pay me $30. I'll go put them on a thumb drive. I'll spend my time, effort, and money mailing them to you, and then you can get those. Plenty of hours of me yelling and cursing and swearing and being angry at the world. Just shoot me an email through one of my various websites and all that. We have the League of Extraordinary Podcasters at the405media.com. Silvio Canto at Canto Talk. Oh, hang on. That reminds me. I got to go get John Grant. I keep forgetting to do this. God damn it. That's my marketing thing for today. John Grant. Writing it on my to-do list, John. I feel very bad. I delayed by about a week. Here I am yelling about hustle, and then I let that one fall through the net. Anyway, so these are the League of Extraordinary Podcasters. So if you're looking to something to listen to that isn't me, you can listen to these guys. Jason Hartman, he has a couple podcasts out there. One is the Schwank Lifestyle. The other one is basically just Jason Hartman's show. It's about money and investing in real estate. We have Free Domain Radio at freedomainradio.com. That's Stefan Molyneux's outfit. The Beckloff, you can search him on YouTube. He's got his little show there, and he has an eclectic mix of different peeps. The Black Brigade at blackbrigade.org with DT and the Man. Financial Survival Network with Carrie Lutz. All things that you need to know how to survive financially. Actually, I'm going to be on the show tomorrow. It's another reason I can't take off. I got to make that phone call. I was thinking about getting to like maybe Morris, Minnesota. That's too far north. There's no real towns out there. That's the thing, is the way I want to go out to South Dakota, there wouldn't be a town that I'd be guaranteed to have cell phone reception in. So I basically can't leave until Wednesday anyway. Tom Likas, our good friend Tom Likas at blowmeuptom.com. If you guys want to advertise on a show, please go there. That is the best rate of return for your money. If you are an entrepreneur, if you have a thing, you have a product, and you think it's going to sell to men, go to Tom Likas' website, blowmeuptom.com. Contact Gary. Just send a contact. Say, attention, Gary. You want to run ads, Gary will get back to you because Gary is a goddamn motherfucking professional. Crush the Street, that's also on YouTube. That's Ken and his pals. They have very good interviews over there. Engineered Truth with Matt Tran. I got his book. Matt sent me his new book. I'm reading through it. It's not a book. It's a guide. I won't lie to you. It's a guide. Differences of opinion, I might add. I disagree with him on some things, but he is also younger and closer to the job hunt than I am. So I'm going to have him. We're going to try and do our first Google Hangout show, because I want to become tech savvy like the Beckloff. These kids in the 20s. But I'll interview him later, but I got to read through the book first. But you can visit his website, his YouTube channel in the meantime, Engineered Truth on YouTube. And then Pushing Rubber, it's not uphill, Clarey, it's downhill. Pushing Rubber Downhill. Wait a minute, was the book uphill or downhill? What's his blog? Damn it, Adam, you got my dyslexia kicking in. I got his ad on my site. Pushing Rubber Downhill. Why do I have it Pushing Rubber Uphill? There it is, Pushing Rubber Downhill. Not only does he have a book, he also has his podcast out as well. You can find his blog. Just search Pushing Rubber Downhill. Adam Piggott, good old Aussie down there, down under. We have Gloria's Hat at glorioushat.com. It is way too fucking hot to buy a Gloria's Hat. It is way too hot and humid. I'm not even... I had to turn off the air conditioning so I could record so there wouldn't be any background noise. And I'm already sweating because it's warm and stinky. Undertow Audio, Undertow, T-O-W, audio.com. That's Undertow's recording company. If you're looking to have your book recorded or have any kind of audio work done, please consider contacting Undertow at undertowaudio.com. Then you have my site, Asshole Consulting. If you need some kind of advice, guidance, leadership, wisdom, or pointing in the right direction, or a swift kick in the ass, we give swift kicks in the ass out for a price. Go to assholeconsulting.com, where I will answer your personal question, either personally through an email, so it's not broadcasted all over the place, or on the internet, if you just want an online YouTube video response, or you think it's going to help other people. And always remember that if YouTube shuts it down, we're going to Daily Motion. So just go over there and look for Daily Motion. We have my Amazon affiliate program. If you do any of your online shopping, please consider making the habit, developing the good habit of not just going to Amazon.com, but first going to CaptainCapitalism.blogspot.com. Click on the Amazon banner. It's to the top right, like maybe a banner down. If you don't see it and there's a big white spot, that means you have your ad blocker on or you're using Mozilla Firefox. So please open it up in Chrome or Explorer and then click there. I'm sure there's a fix for it. I just haven't gotten around. Okay, you know what? Let me put that on the to-do list. Fix Amazon affiliate. I used to think you could set this up once. I just got to write more books. The books are the least labor-intensive thing. It's this juggling all this stuff that takes up the time, all this piddly shit. Oh, one of the major browsers decided, just cancel out all of Amazon affiliate program. It's just a never-ending arms race. So if you would be kind enough to buy all your online purchases through my Amazon affiliate program, that really, really, really does help out. It keeps me on the air. It's not a donation because it's not costing you anything more. I just get 6 to 7% of your purchases. So I get a commish from Amazon for driving traffic to their site. And it's a win-win-win-win-win for everybody. And that way I don't really ever have to work in baking ever again. I'll be here forever. Thank you very much. AcademicComposition.com. It's summer. I wonder what Alex's strategy is now. I'm sure demand goes down. I guess he goes into a recruitment phase. If you'd be so kind as to go to AcademicComposition.com, and if you're interested in writing for him or doing a little bit of marketing, looking for some kind of work this upcoming school year, contact Alex. All right, if you're a good writer, if you can write fast and good, you're exactly the type of guy he's looking for. So go to academiccomposition.com. Do the Philippines by Matt Forney. Go to mattforney.com. Check out all his books there. And then Ann Sturzinger, Novsquam. It's easier. I don't know how to pronounce it or spell it. And I have yet to read it because I got Rush's book, Matt's book, Ann's book, SP Daly's book. That new one's out. So go to AnnSturzinger.com. She also has a blog, but take a look at her book. She has plenty of books up there. Our good friend Sergeant Greg read through it, and he's like, wow, it's a very dark book. He liked it. He liked it a lot. And he's one of those guys that actually reads books. I don't know why people would want me to read or review their book, because I read so few books that I want to, and I hate reading books. It's like, yes, I'll read your book. All right, here it is. I love that SP Daily book, Welcome to the Divide. That was a really good book. I really did enjoy that one. And then my two classes, the analysis evaluation of stocks, and the other one, stocks, bonds, investing, oh my. Those are offered online through many different places, many different resources. All you have to do is search the title, read up on the course description, say, yeah, I like this, and then you can take it anywhere you want because it's online. So just, if you want to learn how to invest, take stocks, bonds, investing, oh my. And if you want to learn about stock valuation and analysis, like how to read financial statements, what are financial statements, it's a bit more focused and practical, I'd imagine. Just search the analysis evaluation of stocks, and I think you guys will find it there.
Now listen, man, I like the news. You guys like the news?
Oh, this one shows you the true heart, minds, and soul of those of us evil right-wing white male. Well, I guess Roosh isn't technically, I guess he's half Persian. For all of you who think that us here on the manosphere and the interwebs and masculinity and all that red pill type that we hate women, this is a perfect example of one where it's proven that we don't. And this is, it's all over the place. And it's this asshole, Brock Turner, who actually legitimately did rape a woman. And then, this is to say rape doesn't happen, real rape doesn't happen. But the consequence, the sentence that this guy got, that ended up becoming the real story because it's just bullshit, just complete bullshit. But let's go ahead and read context for those of you who don't know about this asshole. Congresswoman Dane Black, Republican Tennessee, is the first to admit that her background is in health, not law, but she has joined calls for the removal of the California judge who sentenced Stanford rapist to just 6 months in county jail. Judge Aaron Persky ignited national controversy when he sentenced 20-year-old Brock Turner, a swimmer at Stanford University, to only 6 months in jail for his conviction on 3 counts of felony sexual assault after he raped an unconscious woman behind a dumpster. All right, so this is real. This isn't, oh, she regretted it. Oh, 2 weeks later. There was none of that. This guy is a fucking scumbag. You look at him, you find out his dad is like this rich fuck who's like trying to, his plea to the judge was like, oh, this is really having an effect on his future. Yeah, this motherfucker should have no future. And thank God he's not, because everybody's exposing him. Okay, the judge maybe went lenient on him, but everybody now knows who Brock Turner is. And no matter if he changes his name, we'll figure it out. So the judgment, the court of public opinion, his life is over. Unless his dad's like totally super rich. And maybe you run for senator. Maybe you could be like Ted Kennedy, huh? I'm sorry there, Brocky boy. You ain't got Kennedy power. No, you don't. Your dad's not that important. Regardless, so this guy's a scumbag, and everyone on the right, I think we finally agree, 6 months is bullshit. I mean, hopefully this guy gets the motherfucking shit kicked out of him, all right? Maybe we could get enough punishment then, or at least a modicum of deserved punishment. But just want to point out, if of all of us here on the right wing, evil, male, pro-rape, Roosh, manosphere, red pill, neo-masculinity, if we really did hate women, we'd be cheering this on. But we're not. We're appalled. We're disgusted with it. And then, rightfully so, this judge should be recalled. I'm a nurse, not a lawyer, but as someone who has treated survivors of assault and seen the grim realities of this crime in very personal ways, I'm appalled by Judge Persky's lenient sentence, Black told The Blaze. I believe this decision is shameful and is ground for his removal. from the bench. Rather than agreeing with Persky that a prison sentence would have a severe impact on Turner, Black said severe crimes deserve severe punishment. Awesome. Judge Persky's sentence will only serve to embolden would-be attackers and stifle their victims. I don't know if it emboldens. Well, maybe. I mean, if it's only a 6-month sentence and you're already one of these scumbags, you're going to commit it anyway. You know what? 6 months? No problem. I suppose so. I could see with that. As the young victim's eloquent letter to Brock Turner reminds us, nobody wins in matter of sexual assault, but there can be at least justice. I'm profoundly disappointed that in this case, justice was not served. Blah, 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 blah. Claire McCaskill also in on this. Senator Biden wrote a thing. You are a warrior, even though you're passed out behind the dumpster. Okay. So then I looked up Aaron Persky. So I was like, let's look at this this judge. Michael Aaron Persky is an American sitting judge on the Superior Court of California, County of Santa Clara. Prior to joining the bench, he began civil litigation for 5 years and was a prosecutor in Santa Clara County for 6 years. Early life education. Graduate Phi Kappa Beta Phi Kappa, Stanford University, with a bachelor's degree in international relations. Okay, I'm going to assume he's a spoiled little cunt from rich family, and he has a worthless degree, the same degree as our president. So this guy was the scumbag and never really planned on working for a living. Captain of the Stanford men's lacrosse team, so he didn't play a real sport. No, it's not a real sport, don't you? Received a master's degree in international policy studies. All right, this guy has no intention of working a real job. Graduated from UC Berkeley Law. Went into the bar the same year. Played for Berkeley Club lacrosse team, for which he was also a captain. Persky worked for the law firm Morrison and Forrester, practicing corporate civil litigation. So he has a token amount of private sector experience. While in private practice, he received California Associated Human Rights Leadership. Oh, look at this. Here's just going to show you all these awards leftists and liberals give themselves. How utterly worthless they are. Listen to this. While in private practice, he received the California Association of Human Relations Organization Civil Rights Leadership Award. Jesus Christ. What was that award that they gave? The Charles Montgomery Outstanding Award for... Hang on. Charles Montgomery Award for the Outstanding Achievement in the Field of Excellence? Was that it? Here it is. The Field of Excellence is a song for our first annual Montgomery Burns Award for Outstanding Achievement in the Field of Excellence. And brother, can you spare 2 dimes? Okay, the Field of Excellence. It's exactly what it is. A Civil Rights Leadership Award for work on hate crimes. And the State Bar of California's Wiley Manuel Pro Bono Award for his pro bono work for the poor. He prosecuted sex crimes and hate crimes. He served on supported the Network for Battered Women and Santa Clara County Network for a Hate-Free Community. And then this guy lets this guy go. He let him go. And see, the biggest entry now is this 2016 controversy. Anyway, getting back to that award, ladies and gentlemen, this is why those liberal leftists made up styrofoam awards and trophies mean jack shit. Received international media rights and criticism for Brock Allen Turner. 6 months in jail, 3 years probation. Statutory maximum sentence was 14 years in state prison. Prosecutors sought a 6-year term in state prison, and the defense asked for a 4-month term in county jail. The sentence is usually liked. Many criticize Persky online. I'm just trying to see if there's any legitimate reason he gave him a 6-month sentence. I just can't see it. You're banging a passed out girl behind in a dumpster. No. Yeah, there's an online petition calling for Persky's ouster from the bench, was signed by 1 million within several days, and an organization was established seeking to collect the signatures of county voters required to hold a special recall election. There you go, California. You did one thing right. You done good. You're still fucked. You're still screwed, and you're still all going to go off into the ocean. But at least you did one right. There you go. Get this son of a bitch out of there. Anyway, I just want to point that out, that us evil manosphere type guys, we were cheering against this Aaron Persky guy and the rapist. It's disgusting. It's appalling. You're not going to find one guy in the manosphere saying, yes, we're for that. Yay. 6 months probation. All right. Yeah, let's go get them. That'll teach those girls we can rape them anytime. Oh, but that is the other thing I wanted to say. The great Matt Baldoni, he texted me. He says, hey, look, did you looks like this is an actual real case. I said, what are you talking about? He's like, haven't you watched the news? And I'm like, I try to avoid it as much as possible, frankly, because I don't control it. He's like, looking at this Brock Turner guy. Looks like he actually raped a girl. So I looked into it, and it's a pretty clear-cut case. And I said, wow, unicorn rape. So that's what we're calling it now. We're going to call it unicorn rape. Because then I looked into some studies and statistics. It's kind of sad, because I was wondering, okay, what percentage of rape is false? Rape accusation is false. And there's always that study cited by the FBI. It's only 2%, but then there were problems and flaws with the study. Because, and on top of it, and a lot of it could be because of media. I admit that. We don't hear about the cases. Like there was this one guy on the news today. He raped a gal so he could get into jail to kill the guy that killed his daughter. Okay, so that's weird, but that's an authentic case of rape. There was another guy in Minnesota. You guys probably didn't hear about this. He raped a young little girl, but you didn't hear about. Maybe you caught it, but it was in the Somali community. But you don't hear about these real, unless it's noteworthy. What gets the fanfare, what gets the media attention, is these attention whores in college that go and don't report it to the cops, but report it to the college administration. And then they go and they get the feels and the emotions and the attentions, which I guess is more addictive than heroin to a girl under 25 in the United States. And that makes it seem like there's a higher percentage of false rape accusations. Because to come up with the concept of unicorn rape, where it's so rare that an actual legitimate accusation of rape, like there was a rape, it actually did happen, to say, oh, wow, unicorn rape. Then I had to kind of check myself, wait a minute. Is it really that rare that it's like a unicorn? Is it really that rare? So I did my research and my studies. I went online. And you can find it on the Wikipedia entry of false rape accusations. And it ranges. There's all these studies, and they finally conclude it's very hard. There hasn't been a real study that meets everybody's standards of methodologies and protocols. But what I did is what we used to do over at Wells Fargo when we were estimating our economic forecasts. We'd take everybody else's economic forecasts and we'd average them. That's what they did. Come prove me wrong, Wells Fargo. Come let me know. I'll spill some beans, motherfuckers. So that's what we would do. We just take, Morgan Stanley, they come out with all these forecasts for economic growth, unemployment, blah, 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 blah. We just take them and we'd add them up and we average them out. And that was our advance. And I actually like the simplicity of that. I'm not arguing against it. I think it's actually, you save a lot of time, a lot of effort, let everybody else do the work, and you're never too far off. You're always average. By default, you're always average. So I did the exact same thing. On the low end was the 2%. On the high end, there was one study that showed 90% of rape accusations were false. I'm okay. I'm throwing that out. That's not. I don't believe that for half a second. The high end was 47 or 48%. So you add the two, add them all up. You divide by 2, you get 25%. So 1 in 4 rape accusations is false. I don't know if that's the actual statistic. Apparently, we'll never know. Some of the methodologies I was reading through, one, they took a town that had actual resources to dedicate to it. They came up with 40%. The people that criticized that study said, well, it's just that one town. How do you know? And we don't know if the cops were lying or increasing the figures. And I'm like, yeah, it sounds like it. So I would say somewhere maybe between 25 and 40, but let's just say 25. It's still an appalling number. It's still sad. And what really concerns me, what really has me worried, is not so much what has been the historical rate of false rape accusations. What concerns me is how has that changed over time? Okay, let's say that's baby boomer Gen X stuff of false rape accusations. And actually some of these studies were done back in the 80s and the 90s, so you can even say Gen X. This was baby boomers. What about millennials? What is the false rape accusation rate for the millennial generation. And this is where it gets scary. This is where maybe rape you could actually have a unicorn rape, because the majority of rapes being accused of are false. And so if you look at age, that's why I love this study. But there's no way to tell. No way to tell. All I'm saying is we're using our powers of observation and taking in anecdotal evidence. This is how all science or sociological economic observation begins. You start to notice a trend. And the trend clearly has been a lot of false rape accusations on college campuses. Certainly some are legitimate, not saying that. But a lot of times if the gals just go to the cops, I can see where they maybe don't want that published. And so there's a whole, but what gets promoted in the media, which I know is not representative of what happens in the real world, but so far, if this is any indication, if there's any correlation, any proxy, oh my God, you poor millennial boys. I mean, if the baby boomer base is 25%, and that's let's say a reasonably fair approximation, I can only imagine what's happening with these entitled, I don't dare be offended. I remember that. I told this story before. Women don't like getting rejected, especially pretty ones. And they get mean. The one gal that I told her, yeah, she's like, well, I've got news for you. What was it? What was it's a great line from my life. I shouldn't forget it. I don't ever want to forget this line. Something like I said, well, don't worry about it because I don't ever want to sleep with you again. And then she hit me. Now, think about that. You tell a girl you don't want to sleep with her again, and she hits you. And, oh, dude, in hindsight, I should have just totally sued the motherfucking shit out of her ass. I should have had her have a criminal record. This is over 10 years ago, almost 10 years ago. No, 10 years ago. Was it more than 10? Maybe more than 10. Maybe 10 years to this day. I don't know. It was quite some time ago. But I was still relatively naive. Now, if a girl laid a motherfucking hand on me and I had a bruise to prove it, I'd be going right up to cops. Charges, criminal, civil. Now. Because they got to be put in their place. Regardless, the point is, if just telling a girl you don't want to have sex with her ends up in an assault, minor as it may be, and I could totally see this generation 10 years later, with their level of entitlement that their daddy's little special little princess, nothing's too good for my little snowflake, and they're all winners and their fucking participation trophies, and nobody puts baby in the corner. That's a reference too old for you millennials to know anything about. I can totally see. It would not surprise me, because we don't know the data or the facts. It would not surprise me if 1 out of 2 rape accusations are false nowadays. For women, say 30 and under, totally would not surprise me. So, but until there's like data, I mean, let me pause. This is going to be a long shot, ladies and gentlemen. I'll pause and do a little bit of research, but I doubt I'm going to find anything that correlates false rape accusation with age. Okay, I actually found something. It speaks to it, but it doesn't provide numbers. It provides numbers, but not specifically what we're looking for. I'm looking at a report called falseallegations.wordpress.com, 2010/11/10/6/ and this guy put together some data from the UK. Now, the UK is not the United States. The reason UK is not the United States as well, because it's not the United States. But also, women can be, they can go to jail. They can be prosecuted for perverting justice, for false rape accusations. Now, not the majority of false, they're saying the majority of people who, women who make a false rape accusation or are found to make a false rape accusation are not prosecuted. But of those that were prosecuted, they did a statistical survey of the number of women charged and found guilty, and they did it by age. Now, the sampling size is not huge, 220 entries, but basically, if you're 25 and older, each age group averaged around 3 in this particular sample. So there's 3 25-year-olds, 3 26, 27, 28, et cetera, up about 45. So you're averaging around 3 here that were convicted of false rape accusation. But then you go below 25, and the numbers are 6, 10, 9, 11, 8, 8, ranging all the way from 16 up to 22. So in other words, the younger they are, they're what? Ever so roughly 3 times more likely? If we use this as a proxy, women that have been found guilty of false accusation of rape in the United Kingdom, or perversion of justice as they call it, if you are in your late teens and early 20s, you are 3 times as likely to be found guilty of being accused of rape. So there is an age component. Now, this data was done, what was it, 1999 to 2010, so it's more the Gen Xers. So here's some data about Gen Xers. But my gosh, again, I'd love to see some data about the millennials. I would love to see the data, because we have everything about false rape claims, all the different studies that I saw before, but there really isn't much that goes and analyzes the youth. But gosh almighty, it's just, like I said, and this is where you can't trust. We have to do a sociological statement. Shut the fuck up. Open up your eyes. It's just like the guy that killed the 50 unfortunate gay guys, and gosh almighty, sent another 50 to the hospital. Oh, no, it wasn't Islamophobe. No, it wasn't. No, guys, come on, trust your eyes. Your life depends on it. It really does, all right? And in the case of young men out there, your criminal history depends on it. But God almighty, I know it sounds so stupid. Don't rape. Rape is bad, okay? But more so, guys, it's not that you would rape. Not if you're listening to this show. But gosh almighty, look out for a false rape accusation. Oh, that's so scary. That is so scary. And if any of you guys come across that, if it ever comes out, false rape accusations by age, I'd love to see that data. Because with this entitlement, spoiled rotten, and drama, they just seek this drama. That fucking veritable cunt carrying her goddamn mattress around. Just what a fucking attention whore. A black hole of attention whoring. Just look out for it, guys. I'm just trying to look out for you young boys. I can only write books. I can't be there to prevent you from getting a false rape accusation. So you always get the happy aftertext. Entire chapter of it, by the way, in Bachelor Pad Economics. But God almighty, stay frosty, boys. Stay frosty. Okay, let's get the remaining sponsors out of the way. We did Push and Rubber Downhill. Already got that. Welcome to the Divide by SP Daily. The Black Man's Guide Out of Poverty. That's my book. Bachelor Pad Economics, that's my book, and it is also available in audio. You can go to audible.com, find that there. Davis Arini has recorded it. You can go visit him at Stares at the World. Worthless, that is also available in audio, but also paperback and Kindle. Enjoy the Decline. Curse of the High IQ. Behind the Housing Crash. Geez, I wrote a lot of books. Captain Capitalism Top Shelf and Captain Capitalism Reserved. All of them are at minimum available in paperback and Kindle. Worthless and Bachelor Pad Economics are available in audiobook. So for those of you who don't like reading, which I totally understand, you can go and get those there today. And please get those if you want to help out your good friend Davis. He gets a cut of the profits as well. I should go take a look and see how sales have done. Then we got some other people's books or websites. Day by Day Cartoon, that's by Chris Muir. Go ahead and get your daily laugh of politics over there. Day by Day Cartoon. Silvio Canto's book, Cubanos in Wisconsin. Davis Arini's book, As I Walk These Broken Roads. We have Marty Andrade's Nixon's Guide to the Multiverse. And I think that's about it. Well, there we go. All right, look, that's it for the Clarey Podcast. I'm in a better mood now. I'm going to go and I'm going to smoke a cigar in the soup of sweaty humidity that is known as... It's not even that hot. It's like 78. It's even cloudy out, but it is so damn humid. It's like Florida humid. All right, we'll see you guys later. Toodles.